Welcome to the Retail Bar Talks, where we delve into the dynamic world of retail. Today we have with us Carl Boutet from Montreal. Thank you for joining us, Carl. Please go ahead with your introduction.
Yeah, it's a pleasure to be here. Thanks for having me. I'm Carl Boutet. I am based in Montreal, but travel
Sorry
around
for
the world
pronouncing your
frequently.
name wrong.
Yes, you're welcome. I do travel around the world frequently, and
Mhm.
happy to speak, teach, engage, advise in anything related to retail innovation and our always changing industry landscape.
Yeah, you have an impressive career journey, Carl. Could you share what led you to specialize in business strategy and become an executive advisor?
Yeah, so I was a retailer for a
Mhm.
better part of a decade with launching sort of
Uh,
wireless retail across Canada with
uh,
Costco. It was my own
mhm,
business, but it was within Costco, and we were the first national retail chain in that industry within
mhm,
Costco and outside. So I was part of a rapidly emerging technology and playing within an rapidly emerging global retailer exposed me to a lot of interesting dynamics. So
mhm,
from there, I basically decided to focus my energy on supporting other retailers to remain competitive in this challenging landscape. And I
mhm,
basically since then in different forms have supported globally, the small and the large
mhm,
in adapting, especially around their use of technology and
mhm.
data and design to think about how they stay relevant to the consumer.
Well, it's inspiring to hear about your journey. Speaking of your current endeavors, as the founder of Studio RX.world, you advise a variety of executives and solution providers. Can you tell us
Mhm.
more about the kinds of strategies you help them develop?
Yeah, absolutely. So I was working a
Mhm,
lot directly with the retailers for a better part of the decade that followed the one at Costco. I was very
mhm,
close to supporting their initiatives, and then as technology was emerging more and more and becoming a bigger play in the space, began working with the
mhm,
technology companies to help them better understand what the retailers' pain points were. You know, where it was that technology could play an important fact to improve their outcomes. Just from visibility, reach, conversion, average basket, margin, all those
mhm,
fun things that retailers like to talk about,
mhm,
and making sure that retail technology providers speak that same language and that their solutions actually meet those needs. So our core value proposition is differentiation. It's really helping both the retailers and the technology providers understand how they differentiate in the market, where they stand to earn the business of those customers in a way that
mhm,
sort of sets them apart. And I sort of have developed a model called the Retail Relevance Index that helps them do that and measure it.
mhm,
And I teach that as well too in several universities around
mhm,
the world, including here in
mhm,
McGill and the Asian Institute of Technology, where I just came back from in Vietnam. So
mhm.
it's basically the idea that we have this intersection of technology, data, and design that we can leverage to differentiate, and that's where I try to add the greatest value.
Yeah, like you talked about your academic contributions. As a faculty lecturer at McGill and the Asian Institute of Technology, what are some emerging technologies and business models you find most exciting?
The one I've been sharing a lot with the students, and they know because I repeat it often because it is emerging, and I don't think we fully appreciate the importance it's going to have in the retail landscape.
Mm-hmm.
Is retail media. I think that's taking a lot of different forms right now. It is mainly in the arena of the very large players. Amazon was
Mm-hmm.
the one that really sort of brought it to the forefront. Then we have the WalMarts and the Tesco's
Mm-hmm.
and Carrefour and all the others that are now sort of quickly trying to follow suit because it makes a big impact on the business model. It creates a lot of high margin dollars for those retailers to leverage to remain competitive. So
Mm-hmm.
I would encourage my students to really better understand the implications of that retail media will have, and it will have as well for smaller retailers that are going to be part of these networks more and more. So that's the first one. Then on the more on the marketing side, on the technology side, obviously anything that is around automation, agentic solutions that are coming out around AI. I think that's going to be the big word for 2025. Agentic AI. We'll hear it more and more. And eventually becomes replaced by all things general and AI. So let's see where that goes. But we know that the AI revolution is in full swing, and I often compare it in my courses to how businesses must have felt 100 years ago as electricity was making its way through and changing how they were running their businesses. Although this is now at a cognitive level, it's not just at an operational one.
Yeah, teaching the next generation of leaders must be incredibly rewarding. Speaking of your book, The Great Acceleration, your book, can you share the key insights from your book and how COVID-19 pandemic has reshaped business strategies?
Yeah, so in 2020, I was actually just coming back from Asia. I was in Shanghai, January 16th, getting back on a plane to come back to Montreal from speaking at a conference, and was really at the forefront of the pandemic, and just heard the word acceleration more and more on business leaders' lips, and so I basically coined the term back in April 2020, the Great Acceleration, how we would look back on the impacts of the pandemic on at least on the business sense, because there was no transformation happening. It was the sense that there was a lot of catching up that needed to occur in our digital transformation agendas. So business leaders around the world began sort of pulling forward a lot of the projects that they had postponed in some cases, or just kept to a later date, as they recognized that the path to purchase became rapidly digitized in constrained environments, especially with lockdowns and those sort of things. So we, my team and I, basically measured around the world the impacts of the pandemic on that. I just wrote a second book actually called Blind Spot, that I was this sort of is a follow-on to that. Is what are the vulnerabilities that we've left from that? Obviously AI is a big part of the conversation in Blind Spot, and how these emerging technologies are impacting our business. So we're so those are sort of, the Blind Spot is launching right in 2025, and excited to now move on to that topic, because I feel the word acceleration, and especially the race to resilience, which was the subtitle of that first book, is now people have a bit of pandemic fatigue, and we need to sort of regain that attention right now, and blind spots are what business leaders are most concerned about right now.
Yeah, I mean, talking about acceleration, what trends do you see shaping the future of retail, particularly in the context of digital transformation?
Yeah, so we're being pulled in different directions. We have one that's clearly around personalization. That's sort of the main agenda of AI right now, is how we can personalize at scale, especially for the larger institutions that are maybe less close to their customers than the smaller ones. So they want to kind of create those very bespoke experiences where each one of us are made to feel special and attended to. So let's see how that evolves between the front end and the customer experience, and the back end and the whole logistics and supply chain side. I think data science is going to impact all those elements, and especially automation within that. So we'll see how that part evolves. And then there's sort of this increasing pressure around convenience. The word frictionless has been around for a long time, but we're seeing the technologies now and the cost of those technologies basically catch up, where we can offer some very seamless experiences, again supported by some data science, but also just having better appreciation about the complexities around the integration of these technologies and how to go about involving them, because business leaders are not looking for new challenges. They already have plenty, but the reality is the market is moving quickly. Consumers are also moving very quickly around their spending habits, and we're seeing really sort of this push towards convenience, price, but also the whole experiential side, and even the purpose and values of companies. So those are all things that I track in the relevance index, and that I try to promote as ways to differentiate in the market. So those are the key takeaways right now.
Well, that's really interesting. So my last question for you would be, what advice would you give to businesses looking to thrive in an ever-evolving retail landscape?
Well, I think we've just been, talking about that
Yeah.
around the idea, the need to really differentiate. I think this is even personally, I think people need to consider this as an important step to know that they're truly relevant. It means that they're different, and retail has a challenge with that because we sort of get pulled towards the common. We get pulled towards whatever the largest are doing and want to sort of replicate that with and with some technology we can do that, and there are things we need to replicate around convenience. Especially, I think we cannot afford to be inconvenient. I don't think we can afford to be overly expensive unless we're a luxury play and we have something that's very truly unique. But otherwise, the idea now is how do we just remain relevant and different, and how do we make sure that our customer base, our target market, really understands what our value proposition is, what makes us special, what makes us different, what makes us desirable in the consumer's eyes. Because right now, accessibility, price, they're nice to haves, and we want to make sure we're there. But what makes us truly special, what makes our service offering, the investment in our people that we put forward, and make us stand out and make sure that we're not seen as just the same old alternative. We know that's top of mind right now, and retailers are having to invest a lot of energy and capital around the idea of standing out and making sure the customer chooses them for the right reasons, and those reasons are the ones that hopefully those retail leaders are choosing themselves to make, and the investments that they're backing them up with.
Yeah, definitely. Thank you so much. Thank you for joining us today, Carl. Your extensive knowledge was really useful, and it has been a pleasure having you with us. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Thank you, Zeenish.